Oh, I think the internet has changed our world. Digital, everything, all of that kind of stuff has changed so much of everything nowadays. You know, I'll just start with the amount of music we get. When I worked for a commercial station where I had, again, I worked for WBCM, which was a big rock station. But I was hired, and this is close to an exact quote of what they said to me when they hired me. They said, "We want you to do a 60% jazz show with a heavy emphasis on other forms of black music, but play some white music too." That's close to an exact quote of what they said to me. I got so many different promotional copies of music, of such a wide variety of music, but still, I used to, I had this pile of promotional records that I was supposed to be listening to, and I didn't really get alarmed till the pile got to be more than 50. When it got to be more than 50, I said, "Oh man, I got a lot of records. I better, really dig in and try and get some of these records at the pile." That's a joke. I can get 20, 30 CDs in a week now. So because of the ease at which people can put out their own records, and maybe the ease at which record companies have started. I remember a few years ago, some years ago now, most of the major record companies were getting out of the jazz business. They were just going to put out reissues. They weren't going to put out new releases. And I remember a lot of people were crying, "Oh my goodness, it's the end, and this is the end." And it just hasn't happened that way. There's been so much music put out since then. Most radio announcers that I know of are crying. It's like, I just can't listen to all of the music that I'm getting. It does. One problem that I found with this is that you get a lot of recordings by artists that you don't know, and maybe they're writing their own songs. Maybe you don't know anybody on the CD, and it's like, well, I've got records here by this well-known person, this well-known person, this well-known person. What is going to make me listen to this artist that I don't know and don't know anything about, don't know anybody, don't know any of the songs? What's going to make me listen to that? And the first answer you might say is, well, okay, you want to expose something new. Yes, but when you've got 20 or 30 other CDs that fit that same, what is the answer? I've often said, a lot of times it's either that you have some promotional person who calls you up and says, have you heard the new record by John Doe? Or it's something totally extra musical, something that doesn't have anything. You like the way the person's dressed on the front cover. I mean, really, it's like, what other reason is there? You don't know anything about the artist, you don't know anything about the music. It's like, okay, I'll try this one. So it makes it really rough for emerging artists because there is just so much music. Well, there are probably a couple of things that I would say that would help a young artist. One, I've often spoken about the importance of a promotional person to act as kind of an advocate. Most of the promotional people have been around for a while. They begin to know the programming taste of some of the programmers, and so a lot of them will say, I've got this new CD, and I've heard them say a number of times, "No, I don't think I'm going to that one." And they'll say, "Yeah, it doesn't surprise. I'm not surprised you're not playing that." Or others will say something like, "I think this one will work for you." You know what I mean? So they eliminate some of the things, but that I think is something that a new artist should consider, is a promotional person. It's obviously, it adds to the expense, but the expense cuts through the red tape. A lot of people send me links online, but you know, there's always the concern for viruses. So I'm not quick to click on a link by somebody I don't know. I don't know you, and you know, it's like, I don't think that's going to work. You do better sending me a CD, and then you've got to fight through the masses of CDs that I get. But that's better than somebody I don't know trying to send me a link. And I think that I guess the second point is you have to do something to be able to get the music to the person, or to be able to get the person to hear that music. Identify what that show or that station sounds like, and think about whether your music is going to fit into that format, and then go after the right person to see if they would program them. You know, I had a guy was calling me and emailing me for a while, and he's promoting a smooth jazz artist. And finally, when he caught up with me, it's like, no, I don't play smooth jazz, you know, so stop calling and stop, you know, you're wasting our time, you know. Yeah. Hi, this is Eric Jackson. If you'd like to see more videos, go to jazztimes.com.